Did weeks of prep, and now you're sitting at home watching your dashboard, refreshing your notifications, wondering if any of it is working. Hey there, and welcome to the Wholesale Huddle. I'm Stephanie Smith, busy mom of three, founder of Product Partner Co., and owner of Birch House Games and Gifts, a handmade wooden board game company doing multi-six figures on the wholesale platform Faire. Each episode I share from my own firsthand experiences, or I sit down with other wholesale sellers who are actively building and thriving on Faire. We dive deep to talk about what's working, what's not, and the lessons we're learning along the way. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to wholesale, but learning about what's working for other sellers can help us make better decisions in our own businesses. So get cozy, grab your favorite notebook, and come join our Wholesale Huddle. Hey, Faire friends. Welcome back to the Wholesale Huddle and episode 5 of our summer market prep series. Okay, the Faire summer market is officially open. 5 episodes, 5 weeks of showing up, doing the work, getting your shop ready, and today we're here, market day, at least for the insiders, and then everybody else tomorrow. So whether you feel completely ready or you feel like you still have a few things left on your list, I want you to hear this. You did the work, okay? You showed up, and whatever happens this week, you're probably more prepared than you were a month ago. And that's something real and something worth feeling proud of. So all of that work doesn't just impact these next few days of market. It impacts your business as a whole in a really big way. So take a second, pat yourself on the back. Treat yourself to a sweet treat today, something, okay? Because you really, really do deserve it. Now, before we get into what to do this week, I want to set an expectation for you. A fair market, and especially if this is your first market, okay? A fair market is not like a trade show. So at a trade show, you can feel the energy in real time. You see buyers that are stopping at your booth. You're picking up on body language. They're talking about your products. You're having conversations. You leave kind of roughly knowing how it went each day, okay? But an online market doesn't really give you any of that. You did weeks of prep, and now you're sitting at home watching your dashboard, refreshing your notifications, wondering if any of it is working. So I'm going to talk about all of that today, including kind of the hard emotional side of it. But first, let's talk about what we can actually tangibly do this week. The first thing the guide has for Market Week is to continue DMing returning retailers throughout the market. And I want to make sure we actually talk about this because I see sellers do all their outreach before market opens. And you know, I have talked all the time about using DMs and emails for the outreach, but then they go completely silent once it actually starts. And we all just kind of like freeze and just hope for the best. And that's exactly what we don't want to do. Market Week is really truly the highest intent shopping window of the season for our buyers on Faire. Retailers are actively shopping, actively comparing, actively looking for brands to add to their store, especially in this summer market for the fall and holiday buying season. So this is not the time to pull back. It's really the time to keep going. Your warm retailers who haven't responded yet are still prospects. A follow-up during Market Week, something like, hey, just wanted to make sure you saw we have our market deal running right now. Would love to have you back this season, is completely appropriate. And for retailers who responded but haven't ordered, you could consider reaching back out in a couple of days. Keep it short and warm, but just give them a little nudge so they don't forget. Because really, a lot of times it's that they've forgotten. And then they come back to it 2 days after market and they're like, dang it. So you could send something like, hey, I know we chatted before the market. Just wanted to touch base before it ends so we can get you stocked up for the season. Or wanted to pop in just as a friendly reminder because I know things get crazy. Something like that would be totally fine. So at Birch House, I'm keeping my DMs active all week, working through my warm retailer list in small batches every day. I'm inviting them to check out what's new. I've had several new product launches recently, and I'm making specific recommendations and reminding them what has worked well for them in the past and making suggestions based on what I think could work well moving forward. And then I'm also going to remind them when the market is winding down, especially if I'm seeing that they have open carts. I'm going to go in and see who has built a cart within the last couple of weeks, and those are really the people I'm going to be focusing those DMs on. The second piece for Market Week is to keep engaging on social media. I know this can feel hard when you are deep in outreach, you're watching for orders, you are on Faire, but your audience is more tuned in this week than they really are most of the year. So posting about being in market week, sharing your deal, showing a behind the scenes of packing orders, whatever that might look like, let people see that you're in it and that something is happening with your brand right now. This doesn't have to be complicated. Just keep it simple and keep it authentic. Now, this next segment I am most excited to talk about because it's something that will change the game for your wholesale business. And it might be the single most valuable thing that you do this week and also moving forward. Okay, this is like a big picture thing. So for every order that comes in during market, I want you to send a thank you DM, every single order. Okay, not automated, not templated, a real personal message from you to that retailer. Okay, so for returning retailers, it can be something like, hey, just saw your order come through. So excited to continue working with you. Thanks for coming back this season. Please reach out if you need anything at all. Okay, a really nice, warm, personal touch point that's just connecting with their reorder and continuing to kind of kick off a really great experience from the start. For brand new retailers, okay, this message matters even more. And this is something I stand by year round. Okay. And there's days where I'll get like a dozen plus orders and I'm like, oh my gosh, this takes forever, but it's worth it. Okay. A new retailer found your shop. They liked what they saw and they took a chance on you. So they may have never interacted with you before. This is your first real interaction and we want to make it personal. So you're going to slide into those DMs. You're going to say something like, hey, so-and-so, I just saw your order and I had to reach out. Thank you so much for choosing to carry my brand in your store. I'm so excited for this partnership. I would love to support you however I can. Can't wait to get your order started. Don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. Something like that. Okay. You're going to send that DM. Give it 30 seconds. That's all it takes. Just type it up real quick and send it. It plants the seed for repeat retailer relationships before the product even ships. Okay. You are making a genuine connection with that buyer right away. But here's where I want to push you a little further because most sellers stop at the thank you DM. And I think it's a huge missed opportunity. So I want to talk about the post-order sequence. Okay. And this is probably something I need to do like a whole thing on, but we're talking about it right now. So the first thing I want you to do after a new retailer orders is to add them to your email list outside of Faire. Okay. If you don't have an email list outside of Faire, get one. Okay. Not just your Faire email list, your own list in your own email platform, whether that's MailChimp or Flowdesk or Klaviyo or whatever you use. Here is why this matters. Faire's platform gives you access to your retailers, but you don't own that access. If Faire changes its policies, if it goes under overnight, if something happens to your account, if the platform has an outage during like a critical sending window, you lose your connection to those retailers. Your own list is a relationship you own. And so we're going to build it intentionally with each order that we get on Faire. Now, very important. Remember that in order to stay within Faire's terms of service, you have to keep serving those customers on Faire. So keep them segmented as Faire customers within your email platform so that you're sure that you're sending them to Faire to reorder. Okay. We can't try to poach them over to buy on our website. That would be against Faire's terms of service. So we don't want to do that. Once you have a new retailer on your list, I want you to give them a welcome experience that makes them feel like they made the right choice by ordering from you. So I like to do just a simple 3-email welcome sequence for new retailers. And it looks something like this. Your first email goes out right after you accept the order and add them to your email list. This is your brand story, who you are, what your brand's about, the person behind the product, not just what you make, but why you make it. Retailers want to know who they're partnering with, so let them see you. Your second email, sent out a few days later, is practical. It's your best advice for merchandising your products successfully in their store, how to display them. You could include a link to a gallery of photos if you want. You can talk about what your best sellers are, why they move, what price points tend to resonate well with retail customers, whatever it is that you want to talk about. The more you help your retailers succeed with your products, the more likely they are to reorder. This email is genuinely useful to them, and it positions you as a partner, not just a vendor. Your third email, sent a couple weeks after the order has arrived, invites them into what's coming next, gently nudges them to kindly leave you a review. You're mentioning any new collections, seasonal releases, upcoming events, anything that you have on the horizon. You're giving them a reason to stay connected and a reason to come back. So I have been using a sequence like this for years with Birch House retailers, and I can't tell you how much it has changed the tone of those relationships. It has really personalized what can tend to be kind of an impersonal interaction on Faire. It has made those deeper and more meaningful. Retailers who feel welcomed and supported are the ones who become long-term partners, which is important. One more thing while we're on the subject of the post-order sequence. Don't be afraid of a gentle, natural cross-sell or upsell. If a retailer ordered one category of your products, a quick mention in your thank you DM or your first welcome email, something like, a lot of our retailers who carry X also love Y, and it sells really well for them. Thought you might want to take a look. It's genuinely helpful and not pushy because a lot of times they just didn't even see the other products. They're already a buyer. They already trust you. You're just helping them find more of what fits in their store. Something that I do with Birch House is in that initial DM that I send, I mention that I sell display stands or that they can qualify for a free one if they spend $450 or more. And I send that in every single one. And I would say probably 40%, maybe like 4 out of 10 messages that I send will say, oh yeah, I didn't even see that. Please add a display stand to my order. Boom, upsell, boom, upsell. So to summarize that, when it comes to the post-purchase sequence, we're sending a DM and we're adding their email to our external email list. Now, Faire is not going to give you those emails, so you have to take a couple minutes and you have to go find it. I have found that Facebook has been the most successful for me to find business emails. I've been able to find them pretty quickly that way, or you can just go to their website and it's usually there. So something to add to your post-purchase sequence, and do this year round. It's a game changer, I'm telling you. Okay, so I said I was going to talk about the hard emotional stuff. I don't usually get too in the weeds with the mindset work with you guys because admittedly, it's not my strong suit, but I am well experienced with the highs and lows that come with fair markets. And because Market Week can bring out every feeling you have about your business all at once in a very short amount of time, I want you to be prepared for all of it. So let's start with best case scenario. Orders start coming in and they don't stop. Okay, first of all, if this happens to you, I want you to let yourself feel it. Don't move on to the next thing immediately. Let the excitement hit. You earned that moment. Relish in it. But here's the practical reality of a huge order influx. It can become overwhelming very fast, especially if you weren't expecting the volume. Packing orders, updating inventory, responding to DMs, keeping up with outreach, all at the same time can feel like a lot very quickly. So a few things that can help. Batch your fulfillment instead of trying to ship every order that comes in the minute that it comes in. Give yourself a clear window each day for packing and shipping, and protect the rest of your time for outreach or social or just catching up, whatever you're needing to do. Communicate with your team if you have one. And remember what I said in episode 4. If you prepped your operations before market opened, you're more ready than you feel right now. So trust that prep. You did that work. Now, let's talk about the harder scenario, because I think it is the one that people are understandably scared of. And that is when you get to the end of day 1, day 2, day 3, and you have no orders. And I want to be really honest with you about this because the internal spiral that comes with a slow market is real and it's painful. Especially if you did all of this work. You followed every episode, you DM'd your retailers, you updated your shop, you showed up, you sent out mailers, and the silence can feel like a verdict. But I promise you, it isn't. And here's what I want you to do if day 1 is slow. Look at your analytics before you look at your order count. Are retailers viewing your products? Are your returning retailers building carts? Views and cart building without orders still mean that retailers are seeing you. They're just not ready to commit yet. And that's very different from no one finding your shop at all. If your views are up, but no orders are coming in at all, and they're not building carts, that's a conversion conversation. Your listings are visible, but something in the shop is not closing the sale. And that is diagnosable and fixable. Okay. It's usually like a product education or product presentation issue. If your views are flat, that's a visibility and outreach conversation. Keep DMing, keep posting, and maybe we need to have a conversation about keywords and ideal retailers that you're targeting because there might be a disconnect there. What I do not want you to do is make panic decisions mid-market. Don't go through and slash your prices. Don't rewrite your listing titles and descriptions on Monday afternoon when nothing has happened yet. Don't change your cover photo because you think that that's the reason that nothing's happening. Changes made in a panic mid-market are almost never the right changes, and they can actually hurt you. Okay, your shop needed to be done before market open, and you did all of that. So trust that you did the work. The other thing I want to name is the comparison trap, because market week is the week when everyone's highlight reel is the loudest, okay? You're going to see sellers in Facebook groups and on Instagram sharing their order notifications, their big wins, their market results. I'm swamped with orders. Oh my gosh, best market ever. And if your own market is quiet, that content can make you feel like you're the only one struggling, and I promise you, you're not. Most sellers are not posting when things are slow. The celebration posts are real, and sometimes they're a flat out lie. But what I do know is that either way, they are not the full picture. They're a highlight reel. So please protect your energy this week by being careful about how much comparison content you consume, because it will be everywhere. Most people are going to land somewhere in the middle. Some orders, but not as many as they hoped. And I want to say this clearly. That is not a failure. Every single order is a retailer who said yes to your brand. And that's not nothing. It's a relationship. It's potential many more orders in the future. And the post-market work is where a lot of the real momentum gets built. So that is your market week playbook. Keep your DMs going, stay visible on social, thank every single retailer for their order, and start building that relationship from day one. Lastly, and most importantly, take care of yourself emotionally, no matter how the week unfolds. And here's the mindset I want you to carry forward. Summer market is not your finish line. It's your midpoint. The relationships you're building this week, the data you're gathering, the retailers who are browsing and favoriting right now, those are seeds that we simply need to harvest. Okay, so when I mapped out this series, I planned for 5 episodes, and this was supposed to be the finale, but I feel like I can't just bring myself to saying, okay, bye, good luck with market, and then not coming back to check in once the dust has settled. So I'm going to add a little bonus episode for next week. So after market closes, I'm going to come back. We're going to talk through all of it. Okay, we're going to talk through what we can take from the data, what to do next, and really how we're going to carry that momentum forward into the fall. We'll consider this as like a little bonus for showing up for all 5 weeks. But for right now, I am so proud of you, of all the hard work that you've done. Thank you for being here and joining. Go send some DMs, thank your retailers, and show up this week. You've got your Faire Biz bestie right here in it with you, managing my own emotional highs and lows. We're in this together, and I'm cheering you on always. One more thing before I go. If you're looking for more ways to grow together, that's exactly what I'm here for. Head to productpartnercode.com to see how we can team up from quick wins to full Faire makeovers, and come hang out with me on Instagram at productpartnerco. I'm sharing real talk and real strategy there every week. Cheering you on always.